Hi everyone, this is Eva from amomandhercar.blogspot.com and on Instagram at amomandhercar, and this is my 12th floss tube. Sorry this video is a day late, but we did go out of town for Easter this weekend and I didn't get a chance to film. So my husband and I are now vaccinated and my mother-in-law needed to go home to Houston after being in town for several months, so we decided to make the trip. And while we didn't do anything exciting, we just sort of drove down there and drove back. It was nice to be out of the house, and I got some car stitching done, which I'll give you an update on today. And because this is a weeknight, and as anybody who's watched my videos before knows, I work during the day, I don't have a ton of time tonight, so the editing will be minimal today. We do have a giveaway at the end of the video. I said when I got close to 500 subscribers, and I think I'm close. I haven't checked in a while, but I was close at the beginning of the weekend, that I would do my next giveaway, so I have that for you today. So I'll update you on my stitching, tell you about my plans next week, and then we'll do the giveaway, and then that will be the video for the week. So first, let me update you on what I did this week. So as you may know, last week I wasn't feeling great, and so I didn't get a lot of stitching done. I'm not 100%. I have some arthritis issues going on and some strange things for someone my age, so we're trying to figure that out, but I did get more stitching done, and I definitely feel better today. So the first thing I worked on was my Spooky Hallow stitch along that I'm doing with Happy Little Stitch Shop. This is a pattern and a series of patterns by Little Stitch Girl. I'm on the Sweet Shop, which I think I keep calling the Candy Shop. But anyhow, one and the same. I am behind. I should have gotten this done last month, at the end of last month, and I just didn't. These are big, but that's okay. I have a plan to hopefully catch up, and if not, I don't worry too much about it. So I'm stitching these all on one ginormous piece of hazy gray fabric flare, 18 count hazy gray fabric flare. This, I don't know if you can see the fabric, but it has a hazy gray to it. And I actually stitched several things on this hazy gray from Fabric Flare. I do really like it. It's a screen printed fabric, so the back is just white. There's nothing to it. And then the front of Fabric Flare has some sort of pattern. Some are really out there and fun, and some are not too bad. This one is not too bad. It's just enough to get that sort of haziness to give the spooky town. So I believe the last week, all I had done is started this path, which I'm using DMC for the path. Let's see if I have my DMC here. Just keep them on my thread rings here. So I'm using my DMC colors for the path. For the that's all I had done. So I finished my stone path in the grass. I got my little skeleton done, and I got my little ghost done. I'll come back and fill in their eyes when I get to that color. The shop itself, I'm using Classic Color Works Plum Paisley. So it is this very pretty color. I'm worried I'm going to run out of it, so I'm about to make an order with Fat Quarter Shop. So all that to say, I'll probably put some Plum Paisley by Classic Color Works in my order, because I will definitely use most of it, if not all of it, finishing my little candy shop. Let's see if I can get it close so you can see the variegation. Not sure if you can or not, but I worked on this Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and that is how far I got. I did put a few stitches in this morning because I'm working on this today. I just sort of finished this little curve here. So anyhow, I'm excited to get that done because my other, my next one, my haul for today is I got the next one in the series. I think I'm actually going to open it on camera with you all because it came in the mail today. So that is my Sweet Shop from Spooky Hallow. I think I'll be done with that series in September, assuming I don't get further behind than I already am. And then I will, I just thought of one that I'm going to have to bend down to get. Then I will have lots more room in my schedule because those do take quite a while each month to complete. So I'm excited about that. I love stitching Halloween. So sorry for bending down. The next one I did was, I didn't do very much of it. So I worked on Spooky Hallow Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. And then Thursday, Friday, I worked on my first Hands Across the Sea sampler. I have a hard time saying this. I need to go back and listen to Nicola Parkman from Hands Across the Sea say this, but I'll let you read it. Marion B. Horsburgh. This is one of Nicola's little gems. I just loved the bright colors here. I ordered the kit from Hoop and Frame. And I put all the notes, I'm sort of organizing my notes differently. So below in the show notes, you'll see I'll put the pattern and all the supplies and where I ordered them from. So it's a little more organized for you down in the notes. But the kit came with a piece of fat quarter, I think, of bird seed 46 count. So the first time working on 46 count, which I'll tell you my experience with that in just a minute. And my first time working with a Vera Swirls. So this is the color I used this week, number 152. This is how I started it. These are very pretty. I've never used a Vera Swirls before. They're pretty. They're a little more wiry than the overdyes. You have to use a different needle because they will just fall off your needle. So the Hoop and Frame included 2 number 10 needles, I think, 2 tapestry size 10 beading needles. They just include that in there, and I was so glad they did because I would not have had those. So this is the color that I used, and you're going to see my progress. So most of this I did on the car. Well, all of this, not most of this, I did on the car on the way to Houston, and it was challenging. So the 46 count, I was going to see if I had my little glasses here. I'm using my, oh, I do. I have my little magnification glasses. I wore them, but I only took one magnifier. I should have had a bigger one probably, and being in the car and bumping, I just couldn't do it. So I started the, I'm trying to figure out where I am here, bottom right, yeah. So I started the border. You can see that very pretty number 152. I actually, looking at this, I got farther than I remembered. Kidding, I thought I just did one of these little things, and this is a little gem, so there's not, I mean, it's not a huge border, but this is definitely going to have to be sitting at home with a good light, with my magnification glasses, but it's very pretty. This fabric is gorgeous, by the way. So anyhow, that's a new fun thing to learn as I work on this, and it needs to be ironed, so apologies for that. So that was my little venture into the Hands Across the Sea samplers and 46 count. The pattern for this I ordered from Hands Across the Sea website. It's a PDF, so I'm using Pattern Keeper. So I like that. Okay, I prefer to have the pattern with me. It's just easy. I do a lot of stitching on the go, but it's fine. I took my tablet with me. I do like watching the percentage, so I think I'm like 0.2% done with this pattern, which is not much, but that's okay because I got to start it, and that was my goal, is to start it on April 1st, and I got to work on it on the 2nd as well. But the patterns are great. I think, did I get 4? Either 2 or 4 patterns. There's a color one, there's a black and white, there's a single page, there's a double page. So they do a great job of giving you options on the pattern. So that was fantastic, and I was glad to see that. And it was easy to read all the things that you want and need from a pattern. So that was all great. All right, the next thing I worked on, I pulled this back out, and I'm going to keep pulling this out every Saturday. I worked on this on Saturday, and I'm going to keep pulling it out every Saturday this month just to make some progress. Is my Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. I ordered this pattern from Fire Poppies, one of my favorite stores. I saw somebody ask at one point where to order for the best shipping costs, and I'll tell you, I think Fire Poppies does a great job with shipping because they do have a minimum order, but it's low and they have sales. So sometimes it's like you only have to order $35. Sometimes it's only $30. Sometimes it's $45. But that's at least a low enough threshold that I can just get a few things or kit up one project and I'm good. So anyhow, I thought that was a good answer. I mean, good place to get supplies from. So Winter Rose Manor, I'm getting my little cheat sheet here. I'm stitching on Winter's Brew, which is not the called for. I emailed Fire Poppies and they helped me kit this up. They did a thread conversion for me too. It is most of the called for, or at least it's inspired by the called for. It's just it wasn't all in, so they did a conversion for me, which was quick, easy, all done by email. It was great. I did want to change my house to pink, so I'm using Meredith's pink here, the one I pulled. I'm nowhere near the house, but eventually when I get to the house, that is what I'll use. So what I had done before, and I'm always worried about this fabric, it smells so good. It's obviously hand tea coffee dyed, and you can smell that in a good way. Anyhow, I'd already done the border, and I had started the white snow across the bottom and the walkway. And so what I got to, and looking at it now, it doesn't seem like much, but I stitched quite a bit on this. So that white, it does take a lot of patience. So I got all the way from that first tree on the other side of the walkway to where you see my thread hanging down. So just rows and rows of white. That's wild oat I'm using, which is showing up nicely on this. I just have a few more of these to go, and then I'll go back and fill in the tree. So I hope I get to that on Saturday when I stitch this. Again, so stitching more of the outlines of the white and filling in the trees. That is my hope, and that will move this one along. Oh, see, that color is picking up so nicely. This one's just going to be a really beautiful sampler, which is why I want to keep working on it and put a little progress on it. I know Kim at the Contented Stitcher is stitching on this. You can follow, I'm sure there's a hashtag Winter Rose Manor Sal or something like that. It's all kinds of people have finished it, and it is just a beautiful one. So I'm so excited to be working on that one. All right, the last thing I worked on in my beautiful project bag. Now let me say this about the project bags. This is Elizabeth Ann can stitch her Flosstube. She did a tutorial, perfect tutorial. I'm not much of a sewist, and this was a good project for me to practice. I do wish I had gotten thicker interfacing. They didn't have the one she recommended, so I just got whatever I could find at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to order more before my next one because it's getting a little bit flimsy, and I think the interfacing would have helped with that. Although if you have any other tips of making it I don't need it to be too stiff, but just a little more holding up would be great. And I have a feeling it has to do with my interfacing. So if anybody has ideas or tips on that. Okay, so quick reminder, consider the lilies. I will flash this chart up here because this is another one I'm using with a PDF, and I do not have a picture of that one like I did the other one that I just showed you, but I'm doing Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. I am using the many called for colors. I think even on her instructions, she kind of encourages you to be creative. So I might play around with some of these colors or add as I get into it. But for now, I just ordered the called for. And I had ordered, I think from Fire Poppies, 2 pieces of linen. I'm going to see if I can find, yep, I found them. Good. I really like these little handy things I keep in here to help me remember. This is cream linen 56 count. So I was going to try 56 count on this just because it's a huge sampler. And I didn't want it to be so big that I wouldn't have anywhere to hang it when I was done. So, but then Kim at the Contented Stitcher, I'm going to talk about her a lot today because I get a lot of good advice from her. She said, oh, I don't know if these threads will work on 56 count. And I don't know why I didn't think about it. Like maybe they're too thick. So I said, well, I'll go test it. So I did. I used that number 10 needle to test it. And as you can see, it is, I don't know if you can see, it was puffy. It was hard to pull through. These stitches are pretty puffy, and this is just 1/1. But I had given myself another option on top of the 56 count. I also, because I'm thinking about doing his eyes on the sparrow too. So I'd ordered just kind of on a whim from Fire Poppies the 28 count, same size. And I thought, well, I guess you can see my decision of what I made. So I started on this. I thought, well, maybe I'll want to try the 28 count. This is Witchelt. This is an even weave, very easy. So this is my test corner. Sorry, the thread, I think it got knotted and I got bored with untangling it. So I just moved on, which is lazy, but I was excited about starting the pattern itself. So you see how even and big these holes are, so much easier. And and it's not as puffy. So I'm doing 1/1 on 28 count. That is the difference. The other was 56 count. This is 28 count. And I'm doing 1/1 instead of 1/2, what I'd usually do on a 28 count. So I was, in Houston in a hotel room, and these were my choices, and I wanted to start it. So I thought, well, I'm just going to start this border. And my goal in April is to get the border as much done as possible so that I can go start filling in the little flowers. That's going to be my mania. So here is the border that I got done. And that is 28 count 1/1 this is Oscar by, I think, Weeks Dye Work. So I feel like I did get a lot done. It may not seem like a lot, but remember, this is 1/1 on 28 count. So I'm at least halfway done with one side of the border. And like I said, I want to get the border done. Sorry, the sun's setting apparently and shining in. I want to get the border done as much as possible on this one in April, so that in May, every day I'm going to come back and put a flower for every day in May on top of my regular stitching. And that's going to be my mania progress. So I'm excited about this. This was fun to stitch, even though it's 1/1. I think the key is that the holes are just these like nice big, this is substantial fabric, easy to see. So I definitely had to use my magnifier because they're 1/1, but those holes were super easy to see, and that was really good for me. So I'm going to stick with the 28 count. I'll see what I end up doing for his Eyes on the Sparrow. I don't know if I'll start that or not. I kind of had these big ambitions, and then got to where I wasn't feeling well and backed off to reality. But I am excited to get to, look at that. What color is that? So pretty. That is a Weeks Dye Works Twilight. And just the colors are just gorgeous. And I think this is the Oscar that I had started with for the border, which I also used in Sweetheart Hill. So I've been stitching with that Oscar a little bit. So that is coming along. Janet Quirks and Stitches on Instagram and on Flosstube. She stitches on that one on Sunday, I believe. I think she calls it Consider the Lilies Sal. I'm not sure. I put it in my notes in the bottom, the different hashtags to follow. So I think I will try on Sundays to get that out and stitch on it a little bit. So that's what I'll do on Sunday. For my plans for next week. On Sunday, I will stitch on that. So you may see a little bit of progress depending on when I do my video. Monday and Tuesday, I put this as one of my goals last week, and told you this in my video. I'm stitching this, Harvest Chalkful by Hands on Design and Priscilla Blain of Stitching with the Housewives. And I'm almost done. This is on 14 count Witchelt. I ordered this from Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm using the called for Classic Colorworks in it. And the only thing I have left to do is the jar. And the jar is stitched 1/1 on this 14 count Ada with, I think this is it, deep fennel. Well, let's just look. I have the pattern right here. I'm pretty sure it's a deep fennel. I'm going to open it up, and it is the eye deep fennel. That's it. It looks different for a second. So I'm going to have to put this on the fabric so you can see the color, but it's really pretty. It looks like a translucent sort of bluish tint jar. So all I have to do is that fill in, and that, I know it's probably more than I'm thinking, but it can't be that much. I'm going to work on this Monday and Tuesday and hope to finish it out. Once I do finish this, I'm going to work a little bit on my Spooky Hollow just to keep that one moving. And then on Saturday, I'm going to work on my Winter Rose Manor, put a little more progress in that this month. And that will be that for next week. And what I'm doing this month is just playing a little bit of catch up and preparing for Mania. The giveaway that I wanted to tell you about is a Blackbird design. So today's giveaway is Oh Joyous Day, Blackbird Designs. The chart. So Brenda and the serial starter, Brenda and Laura on Flosstube, are doing a Blackbird Designs stitch all the Blackbird designs in May, and so I'm going to do a few Blackbird designs. I was able to get in the order with traditional stitches, with their custom-made Blackbird design chart, and that I just got an email that is on the way to me. It'll probably take a few weeks because of where it's coming from and where it's going to, but I'll be doing that one in May, and I'll start this one in May. And so this is the giveaway today. So for the giveaway, if you will, be sure that you're subscribed to my channel, like the video, and then before next Saturday, because I will probably pull these on Saturday, before next Saturday, write a comment about your mania plans. And it's okay if you don't have mania plans, like you don't have to have anything spectacular, but I might steal an idea from you if you do have something good. So what you plan to work on in mania, or if you participate in mania, or if you don't, or just what your plans are in general. And be sure that the word Blackbird is in the comment. And I will do a random comment picker to choose the winner next Saturday and announce it next Sunday, assuming my video gets done on time. I don't think we're going out of town or anything, but just in case, I'm going to leave myself some wiggle room, and then I will draw the winner from that. So the last thing I have for you today is haul, and something that I have my eye on. So the first thing is haul. This is my spooky Hallow. I get this every month from Happy Little Stitch Shop. It's a great online stitch store to order from. Angela is fantastic to work with. So I cut it open, but I haven't otherwise opened it. But this is my next spooky Hallow. I'm on number 8. And it's a little cemetery with a little zombie guy, I guess is what that is. I'm looking at this. Is it sad? I mean, I really love this series. The chart's easy to read. It's fun. But I'm looking at this and thinking, oh, it won't take as long next month. Especially after the sweet shop that has the building with lots and lots of stitches in it. This one looks a little more doable because there's not a big building to do. So that will help me catch up on this as well. So that was my first thing. The second piece of haul I got was not stitchy related, but it was cute, so I want to show you. So we went to this one little shopping area one morning over the weekend, and I got to go to Paper Source, which I haven't been to one in a while, and they were having a sale, and I got these pretty little cards here. They're just like handmade paper, I think. Indian handmade paper. So I thought these were pretty, and I would actually like a sampler made out of, designed to like either one of those, so a little bit stitching related there for you. And then the last thing is a pattern that I think I'm going to order this month is, and I'll put a picture up, Lori Holt's Flea Market. I don't know if you've seen that. I love Lori Holt's pattern. As a matter of fact, there's a pattern of hers right behind me. I love her patterns. They're easy to read. If anybody's a beginner, they're certainly beginner friendly. And that one looks like if you are a beginner, one you could practice a lot of different, it would look like a good practice pattern. Anyhow, all that to say, I think I'm going to order that. I'm probably stitch it on 40 count, maybe 36 count. So I'm just going to look at some options this week or over the weekend and join. I think Back Quarter Shop is having a stitch along maybe in June. I may have that wrong because I'm behind on my floss tubes because of being sick and then being out of town. But anyhow, that is one that I have my eye on. So that was a fast video. Next week, I'll update you more on my progress. I might be able to visit my local needlework shop next week. And so if I do, I'll have some haul for you. But that is all I have for you today. Thanks for your patience with me when I was a day late, and enter the giveaway. I'm looking forward to see your mania plans and see how that all turns out. And then I will be back next week with another video. Thanks. Have a good week.